Senioritis, though a commonly used term, what is the actual meaning behind this word? Webster's dictionary defines it as an ebbing of motivation and effort by school seniors as evidenced by tardiness, absences, and lower grades. No doubt, many seniors are afflicted with some degree of disinterest in their final year of high school, but how can one know if senioritis is a real issue or merely a variation of the placebo effect? The truth about senioritis can be categorized into three fundamental questions. Is senioritis real? What causes senioritis? And how can the effects of senioritis be minimized? Two faculty members of Grapevine Faith Christian School were consulted to shed light on the reality of senioritis.
Okay. Do you think senioritis is real?
I think senioritis is real. I don't think it's a great idea. I think it's something students can get control over. But yeah, I do think it's real.
Depends what you mean by real. If by real you mean does it occur? Yes. It is not a pathology. It's not a recognized disease, but it does occur. It is real.
Have you experienced senioritis yourself?
You mean when I was a student? I don't remember that long ago. I don't think I did. But it could just be revisionist history. I don't know.
I maybe experienced it personally as a senior college student, but I don't think I did as a senior in high school.
Why do you think kids claim that it's real?
It's an excuse.
I think once they get those college acceptance letters, they tend to start thinking high school's over, which is a mistake. But yeah, I think that's it. I think they're tired. They're ready to be finished with high school. They're looking toward college, but they need to continue to prepare for college.
What are some alternative explanations for the behavioral changes that some seniors experience?
Alternative explanations. Burnout, laziness, anticipation of leaving one thing, starting something new.
I don't think it's a disease, number one. I think really that they're just tired. They're thinking they're finished, it's over, which it is not over. We're getting ready for the big game. This is the semester before. They need to take this semester seriously and prepare. College is hard. It's really hard. And to take this semester off, even the last quarter, is not to their benefit as far as college readiness goes.
What do you think leads to the development of senioritis or the lack of motivation that occurs one senior year?
Kind of the same things. Laziness, burnout, anticipation of leaving one place and starting at a new place, I think. I don't think there's any actual pathology associated with it. You'd never be able to do a brain scan and find something, I don't believe.
I think it's lack of motivation, period. It's spring. We've come off of spring break. It's finishing up. There are a lot of things on the calendar, prom, graduation itself, and there's a lot of attention given to that and not to the classroom, and we need to focus on classroom.
Have you seen an increase in the development of the senioritis effect in students over the course of the last several years?
I think it hits earlier these days than it did in previous years. I'm not sure why that is, but I have seen it as early as January in the last couple of years, and again, mistake, mistake, mistake.
I've only been here 3 years, and I think at least, so I have a limited data set, but I think this year's seniors, I don't know how to say it, are less disappointing than last year's seniors. They really had a lot of it last year. It was very frustrating teaching seniors last year. This year, I think it's not as prevalent, in my experience.
Do colleges consider the entire senior year, even after accepting a student?
They do, and that's the importance of staying in there the entire spring semester. Colleges can and will rescind offers. They will each year. Hundreds to 1,000 of college acceptances will be rescinded when grades go down. It's not unusual for students' grades to dip in the spring, but if they go down dramatically, a college will rescind the offer.
As a college advisor, have you or the school taken any measures in order to lessen the impact of senioritis?
Other than warning, no, and I'll check in to see if there's something more we can do, but if you're listening to this and you're a senior, take the warning and stay strong until May 12th.
Carl Pickert, a psychologist who received his PhD from UT Austin, also verifies that senioritis is a real issue and classifies it as a developmental and social problem. He describes senioritis as an inflammation of the motivation that makes priority attention to studies harder to give, time with friends more urgent to enjoy, tolerance for parental demands significantly less, and stimulates the desire to start celebrating graduation early as the long goodbye of grade school unfolds. Michael Coleman, the Dean of Undergraduate Education at UTD, also recognizes the phenomenon known as senioritis. Coleman classifies senioritis as the post-reinforcement pause, a psychological condition by which one takes a break after completing a strenuous or challenging task. In essence, because students often work studiously to achieve what is necessary to be admitted into their college of choice, they feel a sense of completion after receiving the acceptance letter, prompting them to take a well-deserved break from school. Student representatives from the current senior class were asked to give their perspectives on the actuality of senioritis.
Alright, so do you think that senioritis is real?
Absolutely.
Oh, it's real. Yeah, the senioritis is real, and there's nothing you can do about it. It will happen, and like a thief in the night, it will take your grades away.
I would say senioritis is one of the most real things I've ever experienced.
Have you ever experienced senioritis yourself?
Ever since sophomore year.
I have experienced it personally. My GPA took a hard turn downwards right after junior year because I pretty much set my goal like just be done after junior year, and then I forgot that you actually still have to do stuff. So my GPA has reflected tremendously.
Some say that senioritis is a real disease. What are some alternative explanations for the behavioral changes that some students experience their senior year?
Not going to school would be an alternative, I guess you could say, or several alternatives. Moving far away from formal education, not receiving a degree, lots of different options.
Well, really, it's just a way of thinking about school. It's no different, it's still, the courses are still hard, but it's just that we don't care at all.
We're already not gonna try, so you might as well just make it a little easier on us. We've tried hard enough through high school, A solid 3 years is all you need. And then just take it's kind of like a gap year, your fourth year.
What do you think leads to the development of senioritis or the lack of motivation that occurs one senior year?
Well, the fact that there's no incentive to do anything the last half of the senior year. I mean, you've already gotten into college, hopefully.
Acceptance into college marks the point that no one cares about a single thing that happens.
There's no incentive, why, last year I would get super nervous because I wanted to get into college, but this year I'm I'm in. They can't say no now, so there's no motivation.
Gotcha. When you were an underclassman, did you think you would have senioritis your senior year? Why or why not?
Oh, absolutely, I did. I think I realized that if I just tried a little bit freshman year, then I could slack off as much as I could this year, and it paid off pretty well.
I didn't really know, but I could only assume that I would probably be done with just everything in general by the time I got to this point, and I'm done.
Yes, I kind of prepared for it. I told myself at the end of junior year, it's all over, just push hard till then, study for the ACT. And then, yeah. Yes.
Did your study habits change from your junior year to your senior year? If so, how?
Well, considering the fact that my studying went from every night to at none at all, well then yeah, that did change.
So I would say that they changed a little bit. Junior year, I would read the book every once in a while. This year, I have not read a book yet.
How have you minimized the effects of senioritis?
I haven't. Next question.
I haven't, to be honest. It's kind of bad.
I don't understand the question. What's the question?
How have you minimized your effects of senioritis?
I haven't.
Yeah.
I don't study, no.
How do you think the school or your teachers can help minimize the effects of senioritis?
Maybe do a lot more classwork, no homework. Because I haven't probably taken my backpack out of my car more than 3 times this whole year.
Not giving us a paper the fourth quarter of senior year at Mr. Thames. And I'll have this on camera. My name is Jack Leonard, and I hate this paper.
What do you have to say to incoming seniors regarding the notion of senioritis?
Let it happen. Just write it out.
Just let it happen. It's gonna happen, and I advise you to just sit there and let it happen.
Gotcha.
It's like death.
I think it's just a part of life. You can't stop it. Like death.
Oh my god!
So, is senioritis real? The answer is yes. While senioritis is not a bacterial disease and could be classified under several names, such as the post-reinforcement pause or graduation fever, it is a real psychological problem. Now that the reality of senioritis is certain, the origin of such a condition is brought into question. What causes senioritis? According to Joshua Benton, former investigative reporter for the Dallas Morning News, early college acceptance is a major factor that contributes to the onset of senioritis. An increasing number of universities are beginning to offer early decision or early action applications, typically with higher admittance rates, as incentives for seniors to commit to a college sooner. The result is that, quote, students are starting their slump as soon as 12th grade begins, end quote.
While the adults offered a range of explanations for the onset of senioritis, the students indicated that there is only one cause of senioritis. Clearly, a lack of motivation is the primary trigger to the onset of senioritis, but an additional issue is brought to light. Will colleges seriously retract their admission offers, or can one slack off senior year without needing to worry about a loss of acceptance? According to Elizabeth Chuck, a breaking news writer for the NBC News team, the most recent data collection from National Association for College Admission Counseling indicated that 22% of colleges revoked an admissions offer in 2009. Furthermore, the majority of those revocations were because of final grades. While a loss of acceptance is detrimental, the importance of senior year transcripts extends beyond admission.
Given the newfound importance of the senior year transcript, students were asked about their study habits. What causes senioritis? A lack of motivation is the overwhelming answer. This lack of motivation often appears after acceptance into college, leading one to believe that what happens after admittance is irrelevant. However, there are costly consequences to senioritis, such as loss of admittance, loss of scholarship, and a decline in study habits.
While these students may not have personally dealt with their senioritis, many schools have begun to implement programs in an attempt to minimize the impact of senioritis. For example, schools like LD Bell in Hearst, Texas have created mandatory senior projects to keep seniors engaged throughout the year. Furthermore, many high schools are offering dual credit courses, providing incentive for students to perform well, since the course will also go on their college transcript. Dr. Kat Cohen, CEO and founder of IvyWise, suggests that the best way to avoid falling into the senior slump is to keep a routine.
So how can the effects of senioritis be minimized? According to the seniors, there is no escaping senioritis. However, reports indicate that schools have implemented solutions in an attempt to lessen the impact of senioritis. Nevertheless, of greatest importance is to raise awareness to incoming seniors of the reality of senioritis. It is a real issue caused by a lack of motivation and can lead to a loss of college admittance and scholarships.